Hello. Good evening. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let us get to work. How you doing, Patricia? Canada, huh? Oh, I know how that is, She-Wolf. When me and the missus were doing long distance, she's from Germany as well, and it was 7 hours. So basically, I woke up early and she stayed up late. So yeah. The funny thing is that's what kind of started my dual stream schedule. That's what started it. So she would get off of work around noonish my time. So I would get up early, start streaming from like 7 a.m. until noon. She would watch while she was at work. And then she would get home. I would end the stream. We would hang out until her like bedtime, which was, right around this time. And then I would start the evening stream after she would go to bed. And then that was pretty much her full day there. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. That's good. Some furry farts. Yeah, better be careful. Well, it's actually, so the angle of this is not correct. I've bent it this way because it's easier to work on. And then once we're done, we're going to take the whole thing, we're going to bend it down in the actual position. So for now, this will be where it is. Yeah, it's just if I had it in its original position, it was too hard to sculpt like under these areas here. So I figured bend it over here for now, finish it, and then bend it into position. In hindsight, though, I would have made this detachable. In hindsight, maybe next time. I don't know why I always think I can get away with doing tails and stuff like permanently attached. It's always like, it'll be fine. No need to go through all the hassle of making it detachable. How dare you be practical and sure? I know everything has to be presentable. Will not tolerate this. Oh, let's see. What other tools do we need? I think that should be good for now. That should do it for now. Maybe a small brush. Okay, so we're going to continue. We started doing the tail this morning, and we're going to hopefully finish it by the end of the evening. The little things, yeah. Well, it's more of like short-term loss for long-term gains. The human mind is programmed to desire the short-term gains for the long-term losses. So we always have to constantly retrain ourselves to not do that. Or we don't retrain ourselves to not do that, and we keep doing that and screwing ourselves over. So the choice is ours, really. And it really is a practice. If it's something you ever stop training yourself to do, then you start slipping. Because in the moment, so like to at the beginning of this to add the tail permanently to the frame was easy to do really quickly in that moment. But now there's going to be long-term consequences of not having the tail detachable. But to make the tail detachable, it would have required a lot more work in that moment, you know. Okay. So I think we left off, we were just starting to brush the forms here. Oh, I knew that. The camera, the mount rig broke. I have to fix it with some steel sticks. So let's see. Let me deactivate this here. Oh, wait. Gotta have to close this first. Activate. I'll have to reset that up a little bit here. No, I haven't, Pat. And the reason that is I basically limit what I will take on as a commission to what I can work on during the stream. Because, yeah, if I would take on like a project and, you know, you're talking, let's say a normal project's 180 hours. That's 180 of non-streamed hours would be not good, you know. So, because I mean, part of what makes what I do work is that I'm kind of doubling up by doing commissioned work, but also streaming and getting the support from the stream. Without both of those elements at play, it doesn't work. It does not work. Mostly because I'm just a really terrible businessman and I make silly business choices all the time, and the stream income helps enable me to continue doing such things. But I'm trying to get better, I guess. But yeah, I limit it because I just know it would just be very detrimental to have to not stream a piece. And I also know such a huge chunk of my routine is already stream time that trying to sneak it in between or after hours is just not going to work, you know. Yeah. And I will say, even if that weren't the case, I wouldn't go down that road personally. Not there's anything wrong with anyone else doing that. I just know that the work you start to present and the work you start to do starts to define the future work that you do, you know. And I can see, and I've seen it happen with artists kind of career trajectory where once you start doing that kind of stuff, it becomes everything that you do. You know, it becomes the thing that that just takes over. And I wouldn't want to be doing that all the time, you know. Basically, the work you do today will kind of sculpt and define the work you do tomorrow. Because people see, you know, I tend to do a lot of fantasy stuff. That's because I've been doing a lot of fantasy stuff, you know, so it's... would be ludicrously inefficient for most people. Yeah, but it probably still would sell, to be honest, because, I mean, that kind of stuff, you can garner a higher price point, and there's tends to be more demand, right? It just sells itself, as you will. But yeah, and then also imagine I have my my little 5-year-old daughter wandering through the workshop looking around at all this stuff, you know? Ludicrously. Yeah, I see. So, there's a lot of reasons that it wouldn't work for me. And also, it makes you not, you become very incompatible when it comes to working with companies if you start doing that kind of stuff. Nowadays we do a lot of like commission works for, you know, gaming studios and companies, you know, like we did a piece for Logitech. riot games, stuff like that. They're not going to want to touch that topic at all. So they're not going to want to mess with or have dealings with somebody that's doing that kind of work, because that's just the nature of the business. So everything has to be more of like a family friendly, safer, riskless type maneuvers when it comes to those big companies. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Loose Noodle? What was I looking for? Oh yeah, I'm absolutely distracted right now. Hey, what's up, Plangwagger? Plangwagger. Mm-hmm. Guten evening. Yes. Hello, Looper. Yes, I'll bake it first and then smush it into place. Yeah, because it's going to require some rough handling. So basically, we sculpt this, we finish it, bake it as it is, then we bend it into place, and then we sculpt this last bit of the segment and add any maybe some additional fur details. Give me a moment. I'm just looking at some reference really quick here. Reference. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm such a noob. Forgot to set up the camera. I got distracted looking for reference. Ah, now I remember. It all comes back to me. All comes back to my mind. Ah, yes. On 30. Okay. Very good. Does your YouTube video show how to prep a larger scale headshot / bust type sculpt? No. No, I don't have any tutorials on doing busts. Basically, it's just giant ball tinfoil though, on a metal piece of armature that's stuck into a board. Oh, nice, Loose Noodle. Yeah, it really is an interesting topic, isn't it? Armature. I do busts, yeah, but I don't have any classes on how to do the armature for busts. But it's fairly simple, just more tinfoil really with a larger one. Okay, let's see. Let's take this. Right. So I've done two kind of larger size busts, almost like half scale busts. It was Nidalee and it was the Lich. And yeah, basically just a piece of wire with a lot of foil. I could definitely see the foil tape coming in handy for something like that. That's a newer addition. Oh, actually, you know what? There is a edited YouTube video of how I sculpted Nidalee. I'm not sure how much. It doesn't really go into in depth, but it at least gives you like a summary of how it all went. You can go check out. Yeah, that's true for most people. They're noodle. It really does make sense when you start really looking into it. Nidalee, not Italy. Nidalee. Nidalee. If you go to like my YouTube and then go to videos, I'm not sure. Was it the last edited video we made? It might have been the last one that we made. Oh yes. Working the tail today. Huh? Just go to my YouTube channel and click on videos, and it shouldn't be very far. It should be right there at the top almost. There we go. Except bunny. That's debatable. Oh, sorry, I have nothing to give. I don't store up riches in the form of silver and gold, friend. I actually have. I will share some of my wealth with you. I have just baskets full. Baskets full. I will gladly share with you, friend. Let me grab some for you. Some wealth. Here you go. Yeah, take as many as you need. Here's my wealth. Those are black walnuts from like a year ago. Well, I'm pretty ready to harvest. Actually, I'm gonna shuck these. So there's the green exterior shell, which dries out like this, and then the inside is the normal walnut-looking shell that we all know. And then inside that is the nut. Well, you can use this exterior shell part here, and break it off to get to the nut part. Save that exterior shell and put it in the bucket. Add water. Let it soak for a few days. And then you mix a certain percentage of alcohol into that. It's going to turn into a really dark liquid. And you add alcohol to it. And you make your own homemade walnut wood stain. So, with only, 3 ingredients. So, totally non-toxic. Natural wood stain that can be very useful, especially when you're working on like projects that need to be stained in the house and stuff. Some walnut moonshine. Now the alcohol is just there to preserve to keep the mixture preserved. But yeah. What's the market like for them? Actually, black walnuts are actually kind of expensive, let's say. They used to stain linens with it as well. Yeah, it's great. I love the smell of them too. It's got such a nice smell. What is the price, the average price of black walnuts per pound? An average price for black walnuts varies, but expect to pay roughly $7 to $20 per pound. Very good. That's probably like $60 worth of walnuts right there. There we go. I kindly share. Come pick them up, Loose Noodle. I have beans as well. Or perhaps some homegrown sunflower seeds. These are from last season. Or some marigold seeds. You want some marigold seeds? I mean, have you seen the cost of a pack of seeds nowadays? It's like $4 for a pack of seeds. Isn't that crazy? Because look at this. So this is one little dead flower from a marigold. Take a look at this. All right. So you just grab it like this.
Listen closely, traveler, to what I say. Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime.
Hey, Elvis, thank you so much. Thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. We're going to get back to work here, I promise. Let me just do this seed ranch really quick. So when I grow something...
Listen closely, traveler, to what I say.
Right.
Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime.
It's the flower seeds. Hey, Chow Dubs, thank you very much for the 2 months of support. I appreciate that. Oh, those ones are calendula seeds. So okay, so you buy a pack. Let's see. Let's just look. Let's just math this out really quick here. How much is the average cost of a pack of marigold seeds? $2 to $5 for a packet. Okay. $2 to $5. Okay. How many seeds are in a marigold seed pack? 30 from 30 to over 500 seeds, okay? But okay, take a look at this. So remember that $2 to $5. It's definitely not 500. It's probably more like, 50 seeds per pack or something like that, maybe even less. But this is one of the flowers. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Every single one of those is a seed. Okay? It's like two dead flower heads. So that's like a buck right there. Maybe $1. 500 seeds. Definitely not 500 per pack. This is just one simple example of the abundance of the natural world. And so one of these seeds makes a plant that makes probably 50 to 100 flowers over the whole season, And each flower gives you maybe 50 seeds. So let's just say that's one pack's worth. That's $3. I would say $3. The seed packs suck. Yeah. Basically, when you buy seed packs, almost everything in the plant world yields its own seed. So you really should only be buying them one time. Because once you buy it one time, then you just, with flowers, it's it's usually the flower heads that has the seed. If it produces fruit, then it's the fruits that has the seed. I don't know if I can get this. Can't remember what kind of flower this was. You can see. Oh yeah, it's got a bunch of tiny little seeds. Oh yeah, see those? Those are the seeds, those little black specks. So usually what I do, I don't even bother sorting them and everything. I just kind of store them as dried flower heads. And then when the next season comes, I just crush them up and sprinkle them all over the place, Store them in little jars and stuff. Look at this. I'm gonna have fields full of marigolds here. So what I do is every year I buy I spend $20 and get a bunch of new varieties of things. But then ideally I am collecting the seeds from, I grow them, I collect the seeds from them, and then I never have to buy that type of seed ever again. And seeds also have such a long shelf life. Some seeds can last for decades just sitting on the shelf and still be planted into the ground. It's pretty amazing. Actually, I just realized I have a jar of marigolds right there. That's a jar of marigold seeds too. Okay. All right, back to scope. That's enough ranting. get back to work. This is why I'm only on day 23. Hey, we're doing pretty good on this one, to be honest. Not too bad. I honestly think seed business is actually pretty can be pretty lucrative, but I'm sure there's a lot of competition. Where like you grow a garden, you don't grow a garden to sell the produce, but actually to sell the seeds, and you're just a seed farmer. Because there's such an uptick of people getting into gardening these days and stuff, you know. I've considered it. If I had more time, I would probably would do it. I can confirm that is not a good business. Really? Okay. Interesting. I'm sure there's all kinds of hidden pitfalls and complications. No market for it, really? Are you sure about that? Or maybe she just didn't tap into the market that's there. There's definitely a market for it. Seb doesn't want competitors. Yeah. I think honestly the best strategy would be to be also not just a seed seller, but also social media influencer that teaches about gardening. Because when I started, that's kind of so I bought seeds from this guy named M.I. Gardner, and he's a YouTube he makes YouTube videos where he talks about like tips and tricks for growing and stuff. Her packing was world class. Yeah, but you gotta have more than a nice package. Gotta get on that social media. But anyways, he sold seeds too, and a decent price as well. It's like $1 to $2 for a pack of seeds, which is really reasonable. I still buy seeds from him to this day. I'll get seeds from him. She didn't social media it up there, Seb. I just think it's a low production cost type of business. I think it could do well. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Trust me, I volunteered. Seb was doing some seed separation, were you? Opening up pea pods and stuff into a bucket. All right, Seb, I need you to sit here and open up all these dried pea pods and empty them into this bucket for the next 5 or 6 hours. Well, there's machines you can make that will kind of separate, that will like winnow the seeds. So it'll kind of, you crush it all up with the chaff, and using wind you can separate the seeds from the chaff. So you thresh it, which means you kind of crush the seed pods that have been dried out. You crush it somehow. Then you use wind power to sort it. In former times, they used to go to like kind of like hilltops and have these areas, these threshing floors, where they would lay out all the grain and dried stuff they were trying to separate. Beat it with these like chains and sticks on the threshing floor. And then they'd scoop up all that stuff and you'd put it in these giant kind of like giant baskets, like flatter baskets, and you'd when the breeze was blowing, you would pour out the contents of the basket into one on the ground, and the chaff would fly away in the wind, but the heavier seeds would drop down into the basket below. I've done that before. I do that. I do old fashioned seed separation there. Quite judgmental. Hey, what's up, Luna?
Hail, noble ally. Please accept these treasures as a gift for your unwavering service to the kingdom.
Mr. Olaf, how you doing, my friend? Mr. Olaf to Harry. I appreciate that very much. Let's get you your wisdom. 124 months. Happy seasonal greetings to you and all the family. I hope all is good, man. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Olaf. Thank you for sticking with me, my friend. Sweetheart. Good, man. Good. Appreciate all the years of support. A grateful heart feasts daily, even when the table is bare. Oh, wow. That's a great one. A grateful heart feasts daily, even when the table is bare. That's true. If you're not happy with a little, you're not going to be happy with a lot. Right, Mr. Sib? Tin. Oops. Drop that brush.
The strength of the cnotbusch kingdom lies
Hey.
not in our walls, but in our people. March to war.
Crack eggs. Thank you for the raid. Hey, I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very kindly. Hello. What were you, what do you stream there, Crack Eggs? I didn't know you're a streamer. I appreciate that. Come on in, folks. We're working on some fur sculpting here. Big poofy tail. Thank you. I'm streaming farm work IRL. Oh, really? I was just ranting about seeds earlier. Would have been a good time. Showing off some of my seed collection. I don't have a farm, but I do have a quite the large backyard garden. I like to grow a lot of edible plants and herbs. Feed in the feed mill. Okay. For the chickens. Very nice. 100. Oh my goodness. 1,500 acres. Dang. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. All right. I'll give you a follow. Make sure we let's go check out your channel. Only 1,500 acres. It's nuts. You do any timber as well, or just open fields? I always thought if I ever had land, I would turn a portion of it into like long term timber growing or something. Bunch of good quality trees. Nope, open fields. Okay. Nice. Yeah, fine. Hold on, let me let the dog out real quick. Someone asked what kind of character this is. I can't disclose the exact character, unfortunately.
Those blood-soaked shores of Calendor, where sailors fought and died, the admiral
Oh, nice. Okay. You mess around with any of the ancient grains, or just modern stuff? Utilizing a drone while farming. That's cool. Very nice. I'm excited to check out your channel when you're live next. Do you go live every day? Oh, good. Okay. Cool. The only grains I've grown in my backyard garden is amaranth. But nothing too crazy. Mostly every day in the summer, but less in the winter. Okay, that's cool. How long you been on Twitch? Sorry for the million questions. I'm very interested. Two to 3 years. Okay.
I heard across a moonlit sea the old voice warned
So how many chickens you got? 1,500 chickens. That's my guess.
beware of me.
A chicken per acre. One. That would be funny. I have a feeling he's probably got more than one chicken. $100,000 chicken. What? Well, feeding half the country over here. Make one egg a day per chicken. That is crazy. So I imagine you got a staff of some sort, some farm hands. Definitely not a one-man show. Just for you, huh? You sure eat a lot of eggs. $30 employees. Okay, yeah. No. Where are you guys located? What state, if you don't mind me asking? Where is the ideal chicken turf? Third generation. Oh, nice. That's the way to do it. Not in the States. Oh, okay. Up in Canada. Canadian lands. "15 inches of snow." No chickens on the pasture today. So I'm guessing a lot of the grains you make is for just feeding your flock then, huh? We had a little bit of rain. It's 42 degrees right now where I'm at. It's nuts. It's supposed to get up to 60 on the day of Christmas. That is crazy. Okay. I see. So you export your grain and import other grain, basically. Interesting. Get some of that high quality American corn. I'm using isopropyl alcohol. Let's start working the other side. I think I want to get it to this point, and then we're going to go in with smaller lines and work it again. And we should be looking pretty good then. Should be looking nice and poofy. Poofy tail. I don't think I've ever lost, like, the shapes. It's hard to lose the shapes. It's easy to have shapes that aren't good, and then you do a bunch of strands, and then you have these, like, Lego shapes with strands on them.
We've got everything you need to rest and refuel.
I think the only time you lose the shapes is when you... Hey, what's up, M. Shea? Thank you for the 2 months. I am doing well. Like, if you're just kind of being too random with it, Clayton, and not intentionally placing the lines to follow, you know, you want to follow those forms as best you can with the lines. All right. Yeah, thank you for the 2 months there. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Oh, Max with a bicycle becoming a member over on YouTube side. Thank you very much there, Max.
Greetings, fellow adventurer. We've got everything you need to rest and refuel.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the support, folks. I appreciate it. This is for you, M. Shea. Eye of Newt. All right. If you cling too tightly to what you have, Your hands cannot catch what is coming. Ooh. Very good. If you cling too tightly to what you have, your hands cannot catch what is coming. And Max, this one is for you. Max with a bicycle. Dragon Tears. Let's see what it says here. The world will whisper doubts. Answer back with quiet courage. That's true. Don't listen to the whispers of doubts and fears. Thanks, Crack Eggs. I appreciate it, man. I'm definitely interested to see what kind of setup you have. That's quite a work area to cover. Is the camera like something that follows you, or is it you have like stationary cameras put throughout your farm area? I suppose I will find out once I go see. A harmonica camera for every chicken. Now watching chicken number 957. Crazy setup. Oh, cool. Excited. Tractor work. Oh, okay, cool. Running the fields. You're investigating doing live streams for your channel. What cameras do you use? So we have this camera is the Razer Kaio Pro Ultra. It's a webcam made by Razer, mounted into a harmonica holder. And then that camera, the one that's looking at me, is an AverMedia webcam. I think the 513, AverMedia 513. And then this one right here, the desk cam, is a Sony 5100. That's a DSLR camera, so I can focus it and all that fun stuff. On my personal size farm, I find I prefer keeping ducks rather than chickens. Really? Interesting. The legs, the legs are large and very rich. Yeah, those two. The eggs are large and very rich. Nice, MJ. Yeah, but I bet if you're growing eggs for market, that not a lot of people are interested in, or not as many people are interested in duck eggs as chicken eggs. So probably just a market thing. Can't say I've ever had a... Well, okay, so if you're gonna buy a DSLR to use for stream, you need to make sure, this is the one thing you need to make sure, that it is a DSLR that will work for streaming, because a lot of them have like a built-in a lot of the DSLR cameras have a built-in like shut off that'll happen every like 30 minutes to an hour. And you need to make sure that you have a camera that you can disable that, or that will work, So just make sure you check that. That's the one thing you got to really check, because a lot of the DSLR cameras have like an auto shut off feature that it makes it not usable for streaming. Happened on the GoPro. Yeah. So this specific DSLR camera, I really looked into this one. It's an older model, but it's like one of the best ones for streaming, for live streaming. So it runs very cool. It has like a flip up screen, which I mean, I don't really use that part, but I can flip up the screen and see, if you're doing a vlog style setup, you can see. So I just bought that one used. Oh, nice. Hey, awesome, Max. I appreciate it, my friend. My shooting camera auto shuts off after 30 minutes. Yeah, you just gotta look for a model or camera that it doesn't have that, or has at least has the ability to turn that part off, because they don't all have it, unfortunately. All right, I think our next step here is to do our line work. Now I have my computer monitors off to the side here. So actually I have, you can see 2 monitors stacked up right here. So I have everything I need right there. Just out of sight for you guys. Basically, I have a 2-sided desk. So there's this side, the work area, and then there's the other side. That's the computer and monitors and all that fun stuff. And then I have other benches and work areas within the workshop that are for like off stream stuff. So, all right, let me go and brew some coffee. Time for coffee for me. An evening cup. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. All right, fresh coffee. Do you come up with your own characters? Do you draw them on paper first, or do you come up with them and experiment as you sculpt? So my design process, so not all the characters you see me making are my own. Because I do commission work, it's a combination of characters that exist or characters that I've, designed myself. But for the ones that I designed myself, my creative process at the beginning was to kind of start with a very rough concept and then sharpen the concept as I'm creating it, as I'm sculpting it. But I started doing not paper sketching, but clay sketches. This is a clay sketch. So when I have an idea now and I want to kind of create a piece or a sculpture around that idea, I will do a one sitting sculpture. So this is done in one sitting. This is of a robot character that I wanted to do for a class. So I'll just kind of, using this different kind of clay, I can move these forms really quickly and then create this an idea without all the refinement and the detail, And then if I like once I sharpen this and I get this to the point where I like it, which, like I said, this is only about 4 hours of work here, then I use that as a reference to create the final version, which is over here. And sometimes it adapts and changes from that point, but the basic idea is there, So this would be something that many more hours than the 4 to make the sketch, So, but hard to show because my camera won't look any higher than that. But hey, you get the idea. Oh. So that's kind of how I do things now. So before I used to come up with the idea, not a super clear idea, like a rough idea. Like I want to make a stylized robot in a particular way, And then as I'm creating it, I'm making small decisions that are ultimately leading us to the final design. So now I do the same thing. I come up with this blurry idea. I just answer more questions during this mock build stage and kind of refine my idea more. And then I do the same thing. I jump into the final version, doing the same process, making small decisions on textures and details and changing things and yeah. And then when I have ideas, I back up my ideas with reference so I can learn to render those things better so basically you have an overarching idea of the type of character you want to make. You go find reference of things that are similar to what you're trying to make to use to help inspire you and give you direction as far as seeing the shapes and all that stuff. And then you look up specific references to back up your work. So if it's a humanoid, you're going to be in the phase where you're doing the anatomy, and you look up references of anatomy to help fine tune your, so you're essentially, it's like when you do a research paper and you have to have references, you have to have sources for all the things in your research paper. It's the same idea where you have a design or an idea, and then every little kind of like sub idea you have, you look references up to help kind of guide you into making each part or each element kind of closer to reality, you know. It's like when you're sculpting like the bag on the character's belt, you have other bags and photos of leather and, you know, stuff like this to use to kind of to inform your decision making, you know, to use to like see, okay, how does the leather texture actually look in this scenario, you know? Yeah. So I talk about that in my classes. If you follow along with my classes, you can learn that method. So. Crimbus. I've never heard of this Mary Crimbus guy. Never heard of such a guy, such a fellow. Sounds weird. Pretty weird to me. Could you have hit the power zoom? I don't think so. Let me see. Maybe I did. Oh. No, that's all the way out. Power zooms on the lens, really? No, I have the focus, and I have the light and dark twisty on the other side. Yeah. You see. There's nothing over there. Wait, it's over here. Yeah, it's the Sony. What does it say? I'm pretty sure it's 5100. Let me see here. I don't feel anything. I didn't see nothing either. Yeah, no, there's nothing over there. That's the release for the lens. Okay, now let's see here. All right, yeah, send me a pic. For sure. Get to work. Okay, I think she's on like vacation or something over here. That's what you think. You think the whole world just gonna stop for one day because you're on vacation? Think all the stores are just gonna be closed and everyone's gonna be out visiting their families just because it's your vacation day there, Clayton? Better think again. Oh no, I have a different lens. Maybe that's where that's where it's coming from. I don't. I bought both things used from keh.com. Great place to get good lightly used DSLR cameras. That's the second one I've gotten from them, and it's been really good. keh.com. Yeah, we got our main social media camera from them. It's like 5 years ago, I think, at this point. Still working just great. All right, Matthew. Catch you later, my friend. Have a great evening. Yeah, and then I picked this one up. I mean, this one I really wanted to get because it's really great for streaming specifically. But it's not something you can get new anymore. And honestly, I don't need new fancy cameras. I'll take the slightly used fancy cameras for a fraction of the cost. What happened to the enchanting tunes? Should be working. Is the music not working for you there, Scapegoat? Yeah. Yeah, it's showing loud and clear on my end, too. No? Really? Yeah, music's working. It's working for Patricia on YouTube as well. Weird. Maybe try launching the page. Hey, what's up, Ellie? This is a furry tale of a character. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's weird. I know audio balance can be different too, depending on speakers or headphones. But should at least be able to hear it. Yeah, it's a big foofy fox-esque tail. Crisis averted. Fox-esque. Foxtail Esquire. Don't know, yeah. A new exotic fruit. Does look like a pine cone. It's actually amazing how many things in nature have that type of pattern to it. Scales, feathers, flowers, pine cones. It's the spiraling from infinity, the golden ratio. Everything coming from nothing, spiraling out from the unseen realm. Layers. It's a process, you know, it's definitely a process of steps. Oh no, this is not part of the chess set. That's the tomorrow's project. We'll be back to work on that tomorrow. I'll be here. What day is that? Let's see here. Thursday? Oh yeah. I'll be here. I'm that gas station that's open. When everyone else is closed, I'm the gas station that's open. Business as usual. I'm liking how that's all looking. Okay, let's continue here. It's pretty much it. Once we get the tail completely textured here, I'll bake it. And then once we bake it one time, we'll bend it into position where it's actually supposed to be, and then we do I sculpt in this area here, and then maybe add in a few other things if we feel like it needs it. Nice, Clayton. Yeah, you've been doing a really good job, man. Yeah, exactly. You learn a lot about kind of like human anatomy and stuff doing stuff like superheroes. Uh-huh. Yeah. That happens. It's that smaller margin of error, allowable error too. You can get away with it on things like the woodland gremlin, but not with stuff like that. Let me go refill my cup. I'll be right back. All right. Fresh coffee. Did anyone else have the experience that using reference was looked down on, like you weren't good enough if you used them? I've only just recently been able to break out of that mindset. I don't know why it seems like such a taboo thing growing up. Yeah, it's like it comes from the schooling years. I feel like it does. It's yeah, it's just, it's something that definitely stops and holds people back. And yeah, it's really a silly. It's just a silly. It's one of those. It's something that totally exists throughout like everywhere, but artists, like industry, like people that are like really far into the arts understand how silly that is. But I think you have to almost get to this certain point of realizing that that's silly by the pursuit of the arts. It's a pride thing, you know. It's like this prideful thing to say I've made something without using reference, and it's actually a lie, because that's like saying you've been blind your whole life and you made something that looks good without ever seeing anything, you know. That would be the only person that could ever say they didn't use reference, is if they were a completely blind since birth person making a painting of something. They could say, I didn't use reference. So people, it's just a common misconception, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, it is a silly thing. And yeah, it does. It totally exists, and it's something that gets stuck in people's heads. Some people for forever, but yeah, I think it was the same for me too, Ellie. You know, I started making a lot of mental clicks when I was in the earlier days of YouTube. There was some channels that existed out there that were like industry concept artists that would just kind of talk about like these mental conundrums they would have during their work, and really revealed a lot of like reality of how does art actually work at a professional or high level, you know. Yeah. I almost have the same. It's like the same category of people that like frown upon using reference are also the same category of people that are like really into like the super like edgy fine art that doesn't even look very good. Like the, you know, like the twisted up ball of yarn hanging from the ceiling with like a puddle of something underneath it. That's probably just me wanting to bash that type of artwork, but yeah, it's like, yeah, they probably didn't use reference for that. We'll just call it low effort art, because there is really good high effort quality artwork in those fine art spheres, but in my opinion, there's a lot of really low effort, no technical execution artwork, you know, like, I don't know. It seems to be from the same wavelength of thinking, for sure. We all know Michelangelo never even saw another human being before he painted that ceiling. Yeah, right? Exactly. In fact, the old school artists like Michelangelo and the professionals of that time had the best reference you could have, which was like an actual human figure posed exactly like what they're making, standing right next to what they're making. We have to use pictures, so. It's really, it really is just good marketing schemes. Yep, pretty much. And money laundering. Don't forget that. That's where the funding comes from. I just wish the really rich people would launder their money through, you know, good technical execution artwork, you know, or high effort artwork. But I guess that's part of the ruse, part of the con, that like us basic peasants will look at these like a banana duct taped to a wall and see that it's worth millions, and then we just have to chop it up to like we're just too simple to understand it. Meanwhile, they're all just like giggling, you know, like the extremely wealthy are just giggling. The fact that they just made this like super useless thing super high in value. When they were making Lion King, they brought in actual lions for reference. Yeah, and they also stole the whole plot of Lion King from Kimba, from a Japanese. Instead of even the name, oh my god, the name. There was a little like white colored lion or larger cat named Kimba. It is a story of Kimba from Japan, like with the very similar same plot. And yet Disney claims it was their first original, it was their, Lion King was their first original storyline. It's like, seriously, there's like a documentary, watch it, that talks about the origin, like the true origins of Lion King and how messed up it was. Don't forget the messy bed. What do you mean? Yeah, what was it called? Let's see. Kimba the cat. Kimba the White Lion. Kimba the White Lion, original Japanese title, Jungle Emperor, is a classic manga series. Serialized from 1950 to 1954 about a white cub lion named Kimba, who escaped captivity and returned to the jungle to lead animals to peace and coexistence with humans, inspired by his father's legacy. So obviously the story is a little bit different, but there's so many similarities, it's like just crazy. The main character's name is Kimba, okay? Simba, Kimba, like literally they just changed one letter. There's the bed that sold for millions as art. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know about that one. Or the guy that sells empty pedestals as like invisible sculptures for like hundreds of thousands. Just empty. Yeah, man, I'm doing this all wrong. Hold on one second. Who wants, all right, giving away free sculptures. Who wants some sculptures here? Actually, not free. For the low, low price of $500,000, you could have this amazing sculpture right here. See it? It's right here. It's right here. You just can't see it. Isn't it a ripoff of Hamlet as well? Might be mixing up Shakespeare, but he wrote a story of the king's brother killing the king and exiling the prince. I'm sure it's a modge podge of other things, but it's so profound. You saw that? The guy selling invisible sculptures? I thought about selling 5-dimensional sculptures in the 5D realm. So, you know, like I'm having an out of body experience and I'm sculpting a 5th dimension sculpture right now. So if anyone wants to buy any 5th dimensional sculptures, you're not gonna be able to see them with your basic 4D eyes, 4th dimensional eyes, but they're there. They're pretty amazing. Just you know, you can set up sculpture work for yourself in the next world where you can experience the 5th dimension in the next life. Don't miss out. They're on sale right now. Holiday special. 50% off. Fine. I guess I will just continue to slave away on this fur texture. I suppose. Well, if those high echelon artists' world is actually money laundering, then not anybody can just become a part of it. You have to you have to be an insider. Maybe that's why the artwork is always so bad, because it's actually made by non-artists. It's like the family friend of the family that they're going to use for the laundering. Here, somebody get this guy some tempera paint and markers to make some piece that we can bid hundreds of thousands of dollars on. It's just too complex for our little three-dimensional brains, yeah. Well, we actually do experience the fourth dimension, which is time. The fifth dimension is beyond space and time. I love the explanation of dimensions of like it totally explains like some of these like really wild supernatural encounters people have, that it's literally just a fifth dimensional thing interacting with our three-dimensional world. You ever seen that explanation? It's actually really good. Here, let me show you. We can explain it because we have a dimension below us that can't comprehend all of us, and that's the world of the two-dimensional people. Let's see. Let's grab our... I had some robot designs in this one. I totally forgot I had done that. I was actually trying to make a commitment to actually do some drawing. But I started designing robots. This was before the robot class. Alright, so here is the world, the two-dimensional world that lives one dimension below us, right? They cannot perceive all of this here. You know, they live, this is their world. You know, let's draw our world here. So this is the whole world of this guy right here. See? Here he is, just living his life in his little see, he's waving at us. So here we are in the 3 dimensions. He's in the 2 dimensions. He can only see things that are on the paper. You know, that's his 2-dimensional space. Now imagine if an object that is 3-dimensional like this now interacts with his world, right? So I set this down on the paper, right? All of a sudden, to this guy, from his perspective, all of a sudden this shape just appears right in front of him out of nowhere, you know? And then so he's like freaking out, like, what is that? And then it like tips over, and now it's like this large, huge rectangle shape all of a sudden. Like that, you know. And then just this part of it touches, and so now it's like as tiny as this little spot right here. Right? And so he's just out of his mind, wondering what the heck is going on. It's just this like thing that just appeared out of nowhere and is like warping into all these like different shapes and sizes, and then poof, it's gone, you know? And he's like, what was that? He can never understand that the like complexity of this shape. He can only get these little glimpses of the two-dimensional shapes that actually make contact with his world. But he'll never be able to fully understand. This is just so beyond his scope. And now translate that into what something beyond the third dimension world would be like for us, you know. That we just can't even comprehend it. We can see these little glimpses, these little like these little unexplainable phenomenon glimpses, but we can never piece it all together and understand it, because it's one dimension above us with so much more complexity and so much more going on that we just can't understand, because we exist in this three-dimensional world. So yeah, right. Pretty crazy. When I saw that explained one time, and it just like made it all click, you know, it's just so profound, and it makes perfect sense actually. Especially if you're like interested. I always love listening to stories or people having like supernatural experiences or encounters, and it just like makes a lot of those really odd ones makes perfect sense. That they probably did experience something, but they'll never be able to understand totally what it was. I had to read a book in ninth grade math about that exact concept called flatline. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. Well, your math teacher knew what was up. It was so horribly dry, but the concept stuck with me. I guess you don't really need to read a whole book to understand that. Just have somebody show it to you for a couple minutes. Hmm. A one-dimensional being, point in space. It really does explain the possibility that there could be a whole world stacked right on top of us, but that we just simply can't perceive them. And really, patterns in nature really will show us that should be the case, you know, that we can look down on the smallest possible scale and see all kinds of things that we couldn't see with our naked eye. Or even bigger too, you know, with like space and everything. The math works. Pretty amazing thing to think about. All right, Ellie. Thanks for chilling.
The strength of the cnotbusch kingdom lies not in our walls, but in our people. March to war.
Odin. Odin the Bearded One. Welcome. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Bearded Chaos. Oh. I appreciate that. Come on in. Hope you had a great evening there, Odin. Thanks for sending everybody here. We are doing some fur texturing tonight. A lot of fur. Got this, this is the tail, like a fox type tail for this character. Hey, thank you. A lot of work to do still. How was your evening there, Odin? Odin. A new leather thingy. Oh yeah? The leather the dinger. The leather dinger. Oh, I see. Is this a commissioned work or a personal project? Proof of concept. Ah, okay. Hey, what's up, chicken? There you go. Pioneering new lands. Very good. Traversing uncharted territory. Just clucking around waiting for the herbs and spices to kick in. Oh, yeah? Just chillaxing in a saltwater brine, are you? Buttermilk bath. Oh. Going for some fried chicken, huh? Marinating. Oh, okay. Grilled, then. Barbecued. Barb. Can I show you the whole piece? Yes. Here. Right. Now her tail will be not in this position. Once it's finished, we bake it and then we can bend it down. It'll be kind of going, it'll kind of go down and around the front here. Okay. Let's see. Let's get this. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Shoot me an email. You can commission whatever you'd like for your nightstand. All right, there we go. Let's see. Turn this up. She's got a really large, like, weapon thing too, but I'm not gonna grab that right now. she's getting pretty close to being done. We just have to basically, once we finish the tail, like I said, we'll bend this down. It'll go around this way, and then we have to like add the heel onto her shoe, a few little small things, and then on the outfit. Ooh, and then we'll have to sculpt the base. Oh yeah. Got the job, huh? You guys voted. I was selected. Nice. I shall not let you down. Oh. Yeah. I actually enjoy this kind of work. There's a certain kind of flow state that comes with it. Kind of like doing like rock sculpting. Same kind of, just kind of zone out into the work flow state. Yeah, you just kind of in the zone, you know. Get lost in it a little bit. Can you make a nice living doing this? You can. Anything's possible, right? I suppose all of our definitions of nice living is different, though. I am able to keep a roof over my head and food in the fridge. That's a nice living to me. Anything beyond that is just extra. Yeah, right? It's all relative for sure. I don't think anybody that does this kind of work, though, you're not really in it for becoming wealthy or that's not really the main. It's not the objective. It's the passion for the work. Anybody who's chasing money is not gonna look at becoming a full-time sculptor for a living. There are far more efficient ways to do such things. A sculpting job for a family toy company? Oh, interesting. Like digital work or traditional? Hi. Yeah, thanks. You're from Privyet. Privyet, comrade. Welcome. Sorry, I don't know any. That's all I know. That's the limits of my Russian abilities. Privyet. Oh, really? That's cool. Delicious chicken. So is that? Are you a digital sculptor? Is that what you do? Croatia. Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all very much for joining me. Grandma Babushka. I do know that one too. I know Babushka. Babushka. You're a bit of everything. So why is the head sculpted separately? Well, it just makes it easier to paint. That it comes off. So, when we get into the painting stage, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with all this. Even the hair coming off. Just makes life easier. Poland. I don't know any Polish, unfortunately. I know Polish people, but I don't know any Polish language. There's this Polish guy that lives in my lives at my Oma's house. Well, my wife's Oma, but she became my Oma. She has like a little apartment in her like basement level, and there's this Polish guy who drives over from Poland to Germany and works in Germany. Lives down there. He's quite a character. Let's just say that. Quite a character. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining me today. I am going to get out of here. It's been a long, full day. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. We'll be working on the chess pieces. Let me go show you. For those that don't know, we'll be continuing work on these. Finishing up our dragon here. This fella here. And probably starting something new, so probably starting one of the rooks or something, maybe. But anyways, let's find someone to raid, and I'm going to get on out of here. Let's see, who do we have on tonight? Mr. Peepo, is he actually doing artwork? Oh my goodness. He is. All right, we're raiding Mr. Peepo. I haven't seen him do artwork in a while. He actually has been doing he got into doing role play streams, and he's just really done really well with it. And let's go check out what he's doing over on the art side of things. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.